Hey, gals and guys, it's Chris Mosier from MyMediaHelper.com, and I wanted to talk again about Meta. Yes, I'm going to bitch and moan about Meta because isn't that what YouTube is for? Is to just a platform to come on and bitch and moan, bitch and moan about things. So they've done this crap before, and they're doing it again. So there's a lot to unpack here to the fact not only of what's going on with Instagram, but to the fact that our Republican friends, especially those running for president for next year, have a hard on for TikTok. They absolutely want to ban TikTok for no real true reason that makes sense beyond that they can control TikTok like they can control Facebook and X or Twitter or whatever, and Instagram, Meta are all on home base, right? They're all on their home turf. They're all in the US domestically. And TikTok is not. So that's the only reason I can think of Republicans going after TikTok and trying to ban it from you and I.
TikTok is not only spyware, it is polluting the minds of American young people all throughout this country. And
let's get into the reason why I'm making this video to begin with. First off, I have a personal bias against Meta. They canceled my Facebook account for no reason last year, just years and years of stuff that I've compiled together. And I trusted to the fact that it was always going to be there. So never make that assumption because it's not true. Luckily, I backed most of that stuff up before they canceled it. There's no reason why they shut down. I didn't say anything incorrect. I wasn't put in Facebook jail for anything. It's just one day it was gone. I have all explanations on my other videos to why. I'm not going to rehash everything. So these are just videos that I did on Zuckerfucker, which I like to call him, Zuckerberg and Meta and Facebook, who I absolutely despise. Yes, I do have a Facebook account to the fact that I do talk to my friends. I keep it very limited to what I post on there, to the fact I know it can disappear tomorrow. I do use Facebook and Instagram for my YouTube channels, not this particular one, but other YouTube channels. I do utilize that just to get viewership, and that's the only reason I use it. I have no love for Meta. I have no love for Zuckerberg. I have no love for Instagram or Facebook. I absolutely despise them. They're a necessary evil in marketing at times. So that's the only reason that I utilize it, and to talk to my friends. So that's kind of the backdrop of this. And then yesterday I'm watching the news, and lo and behold,
right. The Wall Street Journal reporting that test accounts that it created were served risque footage of kids and sexual adult videos alongside ads from major brands. The Wall Street Journal set up these test accounts to follow young gymnasts, cheerleaders, and other teen and preteen influencers. Then they were served up risque and inappropriate content mixed with ads for Bumble, Pizza Hut, Disney, and others. Meta responding that the prevalence of inappropriate content on Instagram is low and that they are invested in continuing to reduce it.
TikTok is not only spyware, it is polluting the minds of American young people all throughout this country. And they're doing.
Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg has friended New Jersey Governor Chris Christie again. Zuckerberg is hosting a fundraiser for Christie at his California home next month. Zuckerberg and Christie first teamed up 3 years ago when Zuckerberg pledged $100 million to New York's public schools. Christie is up for re-election. In early polls, he has a big lead.
You know, the children, the Republicans and the Democrats are always for the children. They're always talking about the children because it's a great way to manipulate you into voting for them. If they talk about the children, things that are bad for the children and everything, it's a great voting motivator for them. It's a great platform to be on there because who's going to talk against the children, right? We love our children. We care for our children, and they there to nurture your children and take care of your children. They're all there. At least that's what they say. You know, that's all bullshit, you and I, right? They're just using that as a platform in order to get elected. And they manipulate you using your kids, your children to get votes from you. And it's scummy all day long. And I don't particularly care for politicians. Let me just throw out there, I am a registered Republican. I do not like the Republican Party as a whole. In Washington, I do not like the Democratic Party as a whole in Washington. I can't stand extreme liberals or extreme conservatives. I would consider myself more of a moderate, I guess, when to come to things. I don't like the government telling us what to do. I don't like more government. And that's pretty much the skinny as the government tells you, okay, we want to get rid of TikTok. Oh, for your betterment, for saving your children and everything, and then tell what what women can do with their bodies. And government wants to interfere with your life, and I do not want it to. So that's kind of why I'm in the middle, because if one entity can fuck things up, it's certainly the United States or any country's government, not just the United States government. Okay, that's my spew on that. I just brought up a bunch of links. I'm going to shoot through them. So, why does the Republicans and Democrats, it's not just the Republicans, and this does incorporate Trump as well, although I'm not adding Trump into this circle because he's like on his own. He's off on his own in his own world. So, this is why supposedly they want to ban TikTok in the US. Is just, first off, this is bullshit right here. National security data collection. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but it also happens with Meta. It happens with Facebook, and what's going on with Instagram. The reason I'm making this particular video. As far as anti-Semitic content, misinformation, that happens all over the place on any platform. On any platform. The difference is with Facebook and X or Twitter, they will cancel you out if they don't agree with your opinion. Now, anti-Semitic. That's an extreme, right? But I'm talking about like during COVID, they would cancel out people for voicing an opinion, and if it's not their opinion, it's no one's opinion. And to me, that's liberalism 101. To me, that's why I can't stand extreme liberals, because it's always for me and not for you. It's what I want. If you're interfering with my environment, if you're interfering with my space, I don't care what it takes for my space to be clean and my environment to be clean. If it ruins your life, that's perfectly fine, as long as I'm comfortable. Screw you. That's basically what I feel is the liberal platform on any of this stuff. I don't know how I went there. I'm just not a big fan of extreme liberals, I guess. Okay. Anyways, this is all bullshit. This is great talking points to get elected. There's this stuff on every platform, on every social media platform. It's just not TikTok. That's why I have this. That's why the Republicans are going after TikTok. It's easy votes, right? They throw this shit out there. People aren't going to research it like anything else. When people watch the news, they take it verbatim. They take that information and that's theirs now. They don't go out and investigate and research and see exactly, okay, why is the nightly news saying this? They take verbatim what the nightly news, what Dave, whatever his face is on ABC is telling them, and that's their talking points for the next day. No independent thought there. They just regurgitate whatever they hear on the news. So there's my spiel on that. So let's talk about Meta. Let's talk about Facebook. This is what they did. They just lost, right? A $725 million lawsuit. Money they have to pay back, mostly to the lawyers, I'm sure, for selling people's information, misappropriating people's information. This is an American company. This is Meta. This is Zuckerfucker. This is Zuckerberg. That innocent face. Yes, that innocent face. Oh, look at that. It looks like Opie from the Andy Griffith Show. So innocent. You know who else has an innocent face? This guy. This guy has an innocent face too. Guess what? He's going to jail for a long, long, long time. I'm not saying Zuckerberg is going to jail or did anything remotely as bad as what that other guy did. I'm just saying looks aren't everything. Just because he's got that innocent face does not make him innocent. All right, so $725 million lawsuit that Facebook had to pay out, Meta had to pay out. You might have gotten a message in your Facebook stating you can sign up for it and get your cut of the $755 million, which probably turned out to be like $1 if you got anything at all. The only people that got the money are the lawyers, and I think there were like 6 people that initially brought the lawsuit forward, so they'll get the brunt of the money after the lawyers get paid off, right? And this gets all brushed under the carpet. The government's not going to do anything to Facebook. The government's not going to do anything to Meta. The Republicans, when they get up on their next debate, are not going to talk about this. They're going to talk about TikTok because they can't control TikTok. They have an influence over Meta. They have an influence over X, over Twitter, because it's domestic.
Do you think that during the 2016 campaign, as Cambridge Analytica was providing support to the Trump campaign under Project Alamo, were there any Facebook people involved in that sharing of technique and information?
Senator, we provided support to the Trump campaign similar to what we provide to any advertiser or campaign who asks for it.
This is why we're making this video, is to the fact that they're trying to target your kids. This is all alleged. This is all alleged at this point. So I have no concrete evidence on this. All I have to look back is what Meta has already done, which is found guilty and had to pay $725 million based on selling people's information, giving away people's information. They're doing the same thing to kids on Instagram, doing the same exact thing. That's what those Republicans, the last debate, sorry, I'm spitting. That's what they had a hard on for. They had a hard on for TikTok, selling information, getting your kids' information, getting our information. You can find my information and probably most of your fucking information on Google. You give me your name and where you were born, or just give me your name and I can find you on Google and get most of your information beyond like your social security number and stuff like that. So that's why we're here. Okay. So the reason why there was a lot to unload here is because of hypocrisy, right? Okay. So this is what we're all worried about TikTok doing exactly what Meta has done. So is this a presidential debate or the Jerry Springer show? So I have a list of Republicans. Some of them have dropped out. This knuckle nut is going to be dropping out soon. DeSantis and DeSantos. What's the difference between the two? They're both scumbag politicians. I have no idea what the difference is between DeSantis, except he was running for president, not anymore, and DeSantos, who is, I think, finally getting kicked out of office. Tim Scott, I had no idea who that is. He stepped down a week or two ago. Pence stepped down about a month ago. I didn't even know Cruz was running. And so I bring these up to the fact that there's Christie's TikTok page. These are people that are against TikTok. They're using TikTok to run their platform, to promote their platform. DeSantos, there's his TikTok page. And let's keep going here. Here's Nikki Haley, TikTok page. Her daughter has a TikTok page. I'll play a clip from you, which is very funny because this dickhead had a question about why are you on TikTok? Why are you using it to promote your campaign? And he didn't answer the question. He dodged the question and turned it back on this girl. And I'm not saying she's any better than he is, but he did a typical scumbag politician move and ignored the question and turned it around on someone else. Typical scumbag politician. He's on TikTok. This Tim Scott, I didn't even know who the hell he is. I still don't know who he is. He has a TikTok page. There's nothing on it. Was there ever anything on it? I have no clue. Is this his TikTok page? I have no clue. Are any of those their TikTok pages? I'm assuming so. Mike Pence, which is kind of nor here nor there. He dropped out, and who cares about Mike Pence at this point? I'm not saying I have anything wrong with Mike Pence. I think he got the short end of every stick possible, including his president being vice president. But that's life. Anyways, Pence is gone. He's out of it. It doesn't matter. All right. So I want to go through these things. Now, a lot of these things I've already researched, and I understand this is on the TikTok website. So it's going to be biased. It's going to be biased towards TikTok. I'll point out stuff that I've already researched off of TikTok that's already proven fact. But I wanted to go through this to finish up because this is what we're talking about, right? We're worried about TikTok, but Meta and Instagram and Facebook are doing these things. And TikTok, we're just afraid of TikTok doing these things, right? It's like, I'm afraid if I walk out the fucking door, I'm going to get hit by a Mercedes. So let's ban all Mercedes. I haven't got hit by a Mercedes. I didn't get run down by a Mercedes, but it could happen, right? I could get run down by a Mercedes, so let's ban all Mercedes. To me, that's the logic behind TikTok. Oh, they haven't sold anyone's information. There's no articles out there about them selling information, but it could happen. Which makes totally no fucking sense, right? So anyways, let's go through this real quick.
In my first week as president, we would ban TikTok. They want to go ahead and sell it? Let them go ahead and sell it.
So don't worry about that, because this dickhead has about as big a chance of being president as I do.
Dad of a 6'5" and a 3-year-old, I'm concerned about the data that they're getting from our young people and what they're doing to pollute the minds of our young people.
Oh, before I do that, I wanted to touch on these guys too. So as you see, this is the CEO. I'm not sure how old this is, but here's your board of directors. Honky, honky, honky. That's what Sanford would say. Fred Sanford from Sanford and Son. Honky. So they're all honkies, and then there's these two guys that are Oriental guys. Is that politically correct? Can I say Oriental Asian guys? I suppose. So that's your board of directors. At least it was. So again, I'm not sure how old this article is, but I just wanted to point out that it's just not Chinese people running this company. All right, let's go back to this. And I don't want to run this too much into the ground. I didn't even plan on making this video. I saw this on the news yesterday, and I was like a Bills fan. Just, what the fuck? Right? I'm all pissed off. I was like, yeah, see, you're going after TikTok, but what about Meta? What about Instagram? That's how I feel. That's my feelings towards this. That's why I'm all wound up. Plus, I had a lot of coffee. Okay, let's look at the myth and fact through TikTok. I happen to believe a lot of this stuff. I understand it's on the TikTok page, as I said, so I understand how biased it is, okay? So with that said, let's go over some of this stuff. TikTok's parent company, ByteDance Ltd, is a Chinese-owned. I've already researched this. It's owned by a bunch of entities. So TikTok parent company, ByteDance Ltd, was founded by Chinese entrepreneurs, but today, roughly 60% of the company is beneficially owned by global institutional investors such as Carlyle Group, General Atlantic, and Susquehanna. I can't pronounce that. International Group. An additional 20% of the company is owned by ByteDance employees around the world, including Australians. The remaining 20% is owned by a company founder who private individual is not part of any state. And I don't even believe the servers are in China. I read an article about Australia being concerned about this, and for Australian TikTokers, that database is in Australia, if I'm not mistaken, but maybe it will answer as we go down to what I just said. TikTok and ByteDance are headquartered in China. That's not true. I've researched that too. TikTok, which is not available in mainland China, because they want to tell their people what and what not to say. Yeah, that's a whole other conversation. We won't get into that. I gotta remember, we're sticking to TikTok, we're sticking to Instagram, we're sticking to Meta. Okay, so China has established Los Angeles and Singapore as headquarters locations to meet its business needs. All companies do business all around the world. So that, in keeping with ByteDance's Disney is in China all the time. So that's just for instance. That is keeping with ByteDance's approach to aligning business needs to the markets where its services operate. ByteDance does not have a single global headquarters, and there's concentration camps in Disney. There's concentration camps in China, and Disney does business there, and they go there all the time. So hypocrisy, but there's a lot of that in the world. There's a member of the Chinese government on ByteDance board of directors, I believe. Is that true? Oh, this is not accurate. ByteDance's board of directors is comprised of 5 individuals, none of whom is a part of any government or state entity. 3 of the 5 are American. The board includes these people. 4 out of the 5 board directors represent ByteDance's investor on the board. I thought they had to have like a 1% stake. I think it's this one right down here. The Chinese government has a golden share. 1% is not a golden share, as it required under Chinese law in order to operate certain news and information products that are offered exclusively in China. Media licenses are required for those services. As such, an entity affiliated with Chinese government owns 1% of, ByteDance subsidiary, Douyin Information Services, whatever that is. This is a common arrangement for a company operating news and information platforms in China. I don't want to compare apples and oranges, but isn't that the BBC have the same? Some of it's owned by the government. Isn't that what British broadcasting? Isn't that a government regulated or owned or whatever entity? Anyways, what's the difference? I know one's communist and one's socialist, or was socialist, or is socialist, or whatever. Decisions about TikTok are made in Beijing. This is not true. TikTok's CEO, Xiao Chu, is 3rd-generation Singaporean who is based in Singapore. Mr. Chu oversees all key. I'll put this in the description. I'm not going to go through all this. I'm not sure what time I'm on here. I don't want to make this too long, but I'm going to put this link in the description. You can read it. It's just the facts and myths of as as told by the company itself. Manipulates content, a way to benefit Chinese government. TikTok is an entertainment app. I'm on TikTok all the time that I mentioned. I don't see any of this, but I'm not targeted for any of that. What I see are pranks and jokes and people singing, girls with big boobs bouncing up and down. I see a lot of it's stuff that's targeted towards stuff I look at, right? I don't see the bad side of TikTok. Every social platform, since I grew up in the 80s, right? He-Man, Transformers, G.I. Joe, targeted at kids. So you telling me TikTok is targeting kids is not a big surprise to me. You telling me Instagram and Meta is targeting kids is not a big surprise to me. Advertisers have been doing that since TV existed. So it's when you get into the gray area of what Instagram is doing as far as giving information to other entities, what Meta has already done doing that, they have been found guilty. TikTok has not. Meta has been found guilty, paid $725 million. That's fact. TikTok has not done any of that. That is also fact. So the whole debate on that stage with those Republicans, when I watched it, was a catastrophe. And people that are uneducated and don't educate themselves and research what they're seeing absolutely drives me crazy, because all they do is regurgitate what other people are saying and use it as their own, and they come out and spew out all this garbage out of their mouth thinking they're all so goddamn smart. And they sound like idiots because all they did yeah, I saw the same thing. I heard the same thing on ABC News last night. You're not telling me anything I don't know. So I'll put this in the description so you could read through it yourself. And that was really my bitch today. Like I said, I didn't mean to make this video. I didn't want to make this video. It's Christmas time. I'm uploading Christmas stuff and trying to be happy during the Christmas season. Looking for job. I'm unemployed. Looking for job. I want to be festive. I want to be happy. I don't want to be making videos like this, but I am, because it upsets me and it makes me pissed off. And it makes me pissed off because politicians are spewing out this garbage to people, and people are eating it up like they normally typically do. And I feel like I have a little voice out there, a very small little pimple on a bug's ass voice out there to say, this is incorrect. This is wrong. Don't believe these scumbag politicians, these people that you're going to vote for next year, next November, because it's all garbage, what's coming out of their mouth. All right, gals and guys, I appreciate you all, Republican, Democrat, even you liberals and you conservatives, and everyone around the world. And Jesus Christ, let's just fucking get along and not worry about fucking TikTok. We got wars going on. I think a little more attention to those and not worrying about TikTok. All right, gals and guys, please subscribe, and please, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Thumbs up to this video, and please share it, and please hit the bell for updates. And ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas. I got some Christmas stuff coming out very soon. You'll love it. And that's it. All right. Now I'm just tired. I'm exhausted now. I used all my energy for this video. All right, gals and guys, I appreciate you as always, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.